So, I know that I said the next video would be on Deadlock, but I really wanted to talk about the Half-Life 2 anniversary update, because god damn it, I might be younger than this game, but I will still glaze and be incredibly nostalgic over it. With Valve not being boring and celebrating Half-Life 1's 25th anniversary, there was a great chance that Valve would also do the same with celebrating Half-Life 2's 20th anniversary. Although, the theory was that this one was going to be much bigger, and in all honesty, this update was much bigger, and it had much more time put into it. The amount of stuff they were doing in the background on Steam to be was way more frequent than what was happening with Half-Life 1. And well, this update was so much fun, and it genuinely made me want to hug each and every person who worked on this update. They really didn't have to push an update to celebrate this game's anniversary, but since they did, this month's video will be talking about the update and answering the question of whether or not you should replay this game for it. Anyway, with the blatant exposition out of the way, let's talk about this update and I'll talk over the awesome changes they've made. Hey, it's me from the future from like 5 seconds after I exported the last audio clip. I just want to thank you guys for all the support recently. 2024 has been a wild ride. Anywho, here's to a great next year. If you like this video or any other content on my channel, go join my Discord server or come over to my Twitch channel and watch live streams I do in between videos. Anyway, let's resume the video now. Yes, you heard the title right. We have workshop support now. And dear god, it is awesome and cool. There have been some awesome mods for it, like this Dark Source UI one, and this one that adds the MP5 from Black Mesa, and so many other more mods that are honestly cool. Some of them are surely mods, alright. This is a great feature. No more going to ModDB or runshootThinkLive.com. Just click subscribe and play the game. Now, I'm not showing how you make mods for the workshop just yet. I'm just some brainless human being that uses the Hammer editor, but I'm sure there's at least 5 tutorials out there right now on how to upload or make workshop mods. As far as how complex these mods can be, I'm not too sure, but if campaign mods have already been posted to the workshop, I bet we'll see some really cool things on the workshop though. But none will ever be cooler than the one and only hit mod, Half-Life 2 Penis. They have also increased engine limits to what is essentially doubled than what it was before. Models and brushes have been doubled along with an increased displacement limit. I'm not going to explain what those are, because I'm not only lazy, but I also don't want to bore y'all. The Hammer editor has gotten some fixes for what feels like the first time in history. God, I feel like we live in a different reality. Slightly improved lighting, security fixes, and lastly, localization file updates. My favorite. That's pretty much all I wanted to say for this section of the video. It's really cool that Valve is still trying to embrace the modding communities for these games that are at most 2 decades old. Although here's some ideas for you, Valve. Maybe add VScript, 64-bit support, and update the Source 2013 SDK to have these newer features. That would be awesome. But now I really want to play Half-Life 2, so I'll go and play in the continue of the video. What's that? The updated Half-Life 2 Deathmatch. Fine, I'll cover HL2DM a little. I'm not a good Half-Life 2 Deathmatch player, so my opinion's kind of irrelevant, but however, it is my video anyway, so fuck you and I just want to talk about it. They apparently fixed the gravity gun not having audio, which is nice. Fixed the slam not being able to be detonated when being close to a wall. And apparently they fixed the SMG view bob, but it's still broken in my footage. You would think they would not lie in this patch note, but... yeah, it's still not fixed. Here's the rest of the changes they made, but there are a few new map changes that are pretty cool. Fixing for floating props, increasing spawn limits for all maps, and a bunch of smaller changes were made. But if I'm gonna be honest, I wish that Half-Life 2 Deathmatch got a little more love with this update. I mean, HL2DM wasn't the greatest thing, but it could have been using some love here with this update. The original Half-Life had way more care put into its Deathmatch mode for its anniversary update, but the fact they even touched Half-Life 2 Deathmatch genuinely surprised me, since this game was always an afterthought. However, while the Deathmatch mode got less love in this update, the rest of the game goes insane with the single-player content and additions. First up, we now have an official commentary mode. This is cool, and I appreciate when the developers show off their thought process when making the game. I had to listen to all of these, which is about 3.4 hours worth of content. Give them a listen, you might learn a thing or two. Although, some of these sound as about as high quality as a laptop microphone being used in a kitchen. Also, the UI now scales properly to modern displays. I might wear glasses due to me being chronically stuck at my computer, but my god, the text on the title screen was very small. Speaking of UI, there are 2 new settings in the video configuration. One for classic effects, and one is for the higher improved lighting. Higher improved lighting. God, I fucking suck at writing scripts. Classic effects is pretty self-explanatory though. It just adds the old fire and blood particles back to the game, which is a pretty nice option to have. They fixed the grass sprites in all maps that had them missing, which is weird because when I first played the game back in 2016 or so, I didn't even know this was a problem. Lambda cache indicators and other decals now work properly when backtracking. That's cool. But who the fuck backtracks beyond picking up ammo and health you just walked by? Seriously, I need names right now. Yeah, exactly, nobody did that, but it's cool to see it fixed. Anti-aliasing is now set to 4x MSAA by default, which is a great change, and it's funny how Half-Life 2 got an update to its default settings before TF2 did. They improved the quality of the Valve intro, which makes it slightly spookier. And there's a few more cool fixes in this update, but I highly recommend you don't be lazy and go read the fixes yourself. Although that's kinda dumb, because let's be real, you're a nerd, I'm a nerd, and this video is probably gonna come out a month after this update either way. So you'll probably likely know already. Anywho, here's a great addition. Half-Life 2, Episode 1, and Episode 2, along with Lost Coast, are all in one game now. You can all play them in one sitting if you really wanted to, which is a great change. Also, with an update a week after this update released, the music finally transitions when you're loading a level. Holy shit, what world do we live in? Because I fucking love it. This update is overall a great one, and I'm glad they decided to celebrate the anniversaries of these games, which is something that Valve usually doesn't do. But if they do it again after this, for the love of God, update TF2 and re-upload CSGO to the Steam store, please. So this update's good, but did Valve do anything else? Yep, they did. They made a 2-hour-long documentary of the development of Half-Life 2. Just like the video they made for the first game, this one was made by the people who made those no-clip documentaries, and it is so cool. They even have uploaded videos on YouTube showing off stuff from E3 2002, 2003, and something from SIGGRAPH 2000 apparently, which is all cool stuff and I really love it. I won't go too in-depth with the analysis I'll give in this video, but I'll say the stuff that I really liked about the video. So if you haven't watched already and you still want to watch it, click off this video and come back here. However, if you don't come back, I will hide a skunk under your bed. You're back now? Okay, I want to talk about it now. Firstly, I really like how they went more in depth about the 2003 leak and what happened, along with how it affected them morally. And well...
Oh man, I was seriously affected by that. I was pretty angry, so I don't know. It kind of affected me for a while. You know, having it called the beta when it was not even close to being a beta. Work in progress, you know. Wasn't really ready to be seen yet.
Normally the office is pretty vibrant and loud and people are riding scooters in the hallway and doing all sorts of stuff. Gabe's tube and throat singing, and it got very still and very quiet. I remember that. That was very eerie. That was the game that was going to make or break the company. We didn't know if we were going to have to go find jobs.
Man, I really wish my job was like that. That would be the greatest job to work at ever, of all time. They also talked more in depth about the development and its technology, which is cool, and I really love the part where they talked about how GPU manufacturers have their lighting compilers wrong. Which is at least what I think they were talking about in this clip, I'm not sure.
The math that we were using was wrong. And not only that, the math that everybody was using was wrong. And then as I started to correct it, and I realized just how bad it was, and then I fixed it, and suddenly everything looked great. I had to go tell the hardware guys, the people who made hardware accelerators, that fundamentally the math was wrong on their cards. That took about 2.5 years. I could not convince the guys. Finally, we hired Gary McTaggart and Charlie Brown, and those guys had enough pull and enough. I have a fine arts major, nobody's gonna listen to me.
Anywho, the real surprise is that they talked about the Half-Life 2 episodes. Now this is already surprising, but what's even more shocking is that they talked about episode 3. Seriously, we gotta sound the alarms because the fact they didn't even mention something relating to the number 3 means that Half-Life 3 is getting close. No, seriously, I'm not acting insane. They were getting close to a new game. I am not Doug Ratman. I'm not schizophrenic. Now we could stare deep at every part of the gameplay or listen to every bit of information spoken, but I would like to save the real deep stuff for when I do a video on Half-Life 2's development. Although, they are doing a new reprint of Half-Life 2 Raising the Bar, which was a book that details the development story of the game. This reprint would include update info, more knowledge about the development of the episodes, and maybe some other stuff. This book comes out sometime in 2025, but maybe I'll buy it and make a video on it, which would be cool, and I've always wanted the original book. Too bad the ones I could find are expensive as hell. So, does this game still hold up? Well, no shit it does, but I highly recommend you replay it because it's still great even 20 years later. This game might be almost old enough to drink and own a firearm, but it's aged like a friendship you've had since early elementary school. Although, I wouldn't know because I've never had that. I'm biased because I'm a huge fan of Half-Life, but if you somehow haven't played it yet, go play it. It has a great story, atmosphere, and gameplay loop that will probably make it one of the best games you'll play. you have no excuses because it usually goes on sale for $1. But hey, if you enjoyed me rambling in this video, go check out my other stuff, give me feedback on this video, and check out my Twitch channel and Discord server if you want to talk to me. But for real, I'll go make that Deadlock video now, I swear.
Bye-bye!
Throwing flashbang.